Sports on Tap Detroit, brought to you by Tap and Barrel Grill, the Realtors of the Joe Wright Group, Jason Stiltner of Flagstar Bank, Baldman Entertainment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, with loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and rock with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go when all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them what's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Nothing? All right. Welcome to episode 161 of Sports on Tap Detroit, alongside Joe Waddell. I am Chris Scott. Yes, we are a little late tonight. It happens, but we are here. So
yeah. Hence why I had nothing to play when we came in.
Yeah.
It was a struggle just to get us going in the show right now. So
when you do it on the fly like that, kind of late, it can be a little bit stressful for sure. But
a little bit, but we're here.
We're here. Ready
We
to
can
do a
talk
show.
sports.
talking about
Or
something.
whatever.
Or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. You want to talk about sports tonight? Or you want to just talk about something else? You got anything else on your
You
mind?
got anything?
I mean, it's sports is it for me right now.
There you go. I mean, maybe we get into it. Obviously, this past week in the NFL, some interesting games. I thought the late afternoon window kind of sucked. I thought those were some kind of trash games, but
Yeah, it wasn't very good. I actually I went. I had to go to a funeral home this Sunday.
yeah,
Friends, family, you know, that type of thing, and so didn't watch much of the early games at all. Ended up getting back to the house about 4:30, and honestly, at that point in time, I was busy trying to get dinner and everything else, and I was gonna try to watch football, but yeah, every second I tried to watch was kind of just. So I was just like, it really didn't matter to me. I ended up watching, the Sunday night game, about half of it, and then I flipped it off because it was the Lions, and they were either going to lose, yay, or they were going to come back and win, yay. So I just didn't watch.
I went to bed around mid third quarter, and I looked at Lady Friend. I'm like, they're gonna win, and sure enough, obviously they ended up coming back and winning.
Yeah.
And credit to them. They, to be down by that much and to not let up a point in the second half. Again, credit to them. That's what good teams do.
Yeah.
They find a way to pull it out. So good for them, and they go to 9-1, 8-1, whatever they are. But yeah, that's a solid win for the Lions. I mean, I think it says a lot more about the Lions than it does the Texans. But
well, so there's a couple things you can look at it from, Lions glasses, and be extremely excited that they played horrible.
Oh, they did.
And pulled out a win.
Like, your quarterback throws 5 interceptions. Now, a few of those I'm not going to pin on him, but
Right.
your quarterback
but
threw
still.
5 interceptions. That's a game by all means you should lose. Like,
should lose.
9 out of 10 times you're going to lose that game.
And by all accounts, if you were playing many other teams on Sunday,
you lose that game.
you're losing that game.
Yes. Because you see it with the Texans, they can't finish.
They can't, and honestly, that offense is completely different without Nico Collins in there,
Oh, yeah.
as you've seen in recent weeks with him being out on
Big
IR.
time, for sure.
But again, not taking anything away from the Lions, but if I was a Lions fan, speaking from somebody who is a fan of a team, not the Lions,
Yeah.
and I would be concerned that the rah-rah sis-boom-ba coach that you have, that the team will never come out flat for because they're just going to want to run through a wall for this guy every game. That team came out and they look like shit.
They did look like shit. Now, to that point, I'm
They
not going to
gathered at halftime. But
I'm not going to put too much stock into that. I think every team comes out with a clunker. I don't care how rah-rah your coach is. It doesn't matter. Every team has that game, especially when you're a team that every team game plans for. You're facing everybody's best each week, so that's bound to happen. So I'm not going to put too much stock into that. But if they come out this week and do the same thing, which I doubt they will, they're playing Jacksonville at home. I don't see that happening. But
honestly, they could come out and look the exact same and blow Jacksonville
they
out.
could.
So
So you really wouldn't be like,
they could play
came
the
out really
same
yeah.
type of way and still blow out Jacksonville because Jacksonville won't pick those passes off.
No.
And it's just, Jacksonville.
I mean, you can make that spread like 25.5, and I'd still take the Lions in the over.
Yeah,
But-
the Jaguars are no longer adjacent. They're no longer kitty. They're not
they're
kitty
just
corner.
bad.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not bad adjacent. They are bad.
They're not even bad adjacent. They're just fucking really bad.
They are real bad.
Are they for real? They're for real
They're
bad.
for real bad. Yes. So, like I said, credit to the Lions. That's a good win for them. Playing like shit, and you still come out, especially on the road, and you still get the win. That's a good win for them. Who it wasn't a good week for is fucking kickers. Holy shit.
Eric said he was going to give you shit tonight because the Lions kicker won the game for him.
He did.
I mean, barely.
Barely, but he did. So
mean,
credit to him. He got the ball went through the upright, exactly what you're supposed to do.
It snuck in there.
I actually heard an interview yesterday with a former NFL player. He played 10, 12 years, something like that. Anyways. And he was kind of talking about kickers and like how the rest of the team kind of feels about kickers. And it's kind of what we always thought. Like, when you make when you do your job and you make your kicks, they fucking love you. But when you fucking start blowing kicks, because you saw what Deebo Samuel did, he's like because that's how.
Yeah, Moody missed 3 of them.
Exactly. So that's what brought this conversation up during this interview. And he he goes, when you start blowing kicks, players are furious with you because literally that's your only job. They see you on the massage table and shit like that during practice and shit like that, and you're off to the side where all the other players are busting their ass trying to set a game plan and shit like that. And you, the kicker, your only job is to kick the ball through the fucking uprights. And you blow kicks, multiple kicks. So yeah, if I was a player on a team and my kicker was blowing a shitload of kicks, yeah, you're right. Damn right I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Like I'm busting my ass out here, getting collisions every fucking down. And your only job is to kick a ball through the fucking uprights and you can't do that? Yeah, you're damn right I'd be pissed. Now,
you can't let that shit happen.
You can't let that shit exactly. Now, did he go about it the right way? No, I don't think he did. Speaking about Deebo, but I can understand the frustration with it for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, did he redeem himself at the end of the game? He did. He got the game winner, so good for him. But you shouldn't have been in that position to begin with.
Right. If you hit 2 of those 3 you miss, then you're not even in that position.
Because like the stat, and I put it in our group chat during the week. I was like, they missed 10 field goals, and this was just as of when I typed this in, and missed 10 field goals and 2 extra points.
Yep.
Like that's not good, guys.
Not good at all.
No, and especially like I said, if that's
your
your job,
only job.
Kick the ball through the uprights, man. That's it. That's all you do during the week.
Because I don't even count kickoffs.
No, I don't either.
That's just lead footing it.
Exactly.
Like you go out there and you
kick
fucking
as far as you
lead
can.
foot it. Right.
You're not even aiming at anything. You just kick it as far as hard as you can.
Sometimes they kick it out of bounds. How the fuck do you do that?
Yeah, that's weird how that works.
How the fuck do you kick it out of bounds?
I don't know. That is actually, I mean, for as impressive as it is how like far these guys can kick the ball.
There's sometimes where there's no control over it. It's
there
like,
isn't.
What the fuck is going on?
But and that's what we kind of talked about this a few episodes ago about just kicking in general. It's gotten to the point where shit like 55, 60 yarders look like almost like chip shots now with these guys.
Yeah.
Even Bates' field goal was at 50. What was it? 56? Was it?
I think so.
Somewhere in that range.
I didn't see it live, so I think it was.
That shit would have been good from like 65 easy. So it's
there's some kickers right now that have just lead legs.
They do.
Young Wei Koo, Young Hao Koo, Kaimi Fairbairn.
Yeah.
Just to name a few, and then Tucker.
Yeah.
Is he's kind of having a down year.
He is like that guy. Just
it's a weird year for him.
He's
a future Hall of Famer, but it's a weird year for him. But yeah, it's so crazy how they can be so accurate from so far away, and then all of a sudden they're missing extra points.
Yeah,
and just completely biffing kicks.
Right.
Like what the fuck?
No, I can.
How is it that inconsistent?
I mean, I'll give you somewhat of a pass if
it's windy,
the wind's blowing like gusts of like 45 miles an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
There's not really much you can do. You can line it up perfectly and it could look perfect, and then the wind will.
If you're in a dome and you're traveling and you're an away team, and they turn the air on right when you go to kick,
right?
You know what I mean? Like that can play havoc on you. You know.
It is, but that's another thing. And most of these teams, a lot of these teams play in domes, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're in a dome. Unless it gets blocked, you should never miss a kick.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't. Now, speaking of that. Blocked kicks. I don't know how the Chiefs keep doing this shit and just getting away with playing like absolute dog shit.
I just want to know which one of them, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, or Travis Kelce, sold their soul to the devil. I don't know, man.
I have no idea.
Because this is not even – I had this discussion with Eric earlier. This is not even the best Kansas City Chiefs team we've seen in the past 5 years.
No, it isn't.
And they just keep winning.
Yeah. And just by just weird shit. Now, was there again some nefarious officiating in the game? Yep, sure was. Mm-hmm. But of course, you just have to go into every game and just all right. We have to play the officials too. Like we have to. That's what it is.
But I think that should be for every team in every game.
I agree with you. It should. But that
I know Lions fans will have you believing differently.
Yeah, because again, the NFL has a vendetta against the
But
Lions.
no, the officiating is just, again, it's almost like kickers. Officials, they can be so on sometimes and so correct, and then other times you're like, what the fuck were you looking at?
Like that one penalty that I'm speaking of, and I think you know which one I'm talking about. The fact that it was even called in the first place is just absurd. And the fact that they didn't show a replay of it kind of says something. It really does.
Yeah.
And again, you hear all the conspiracy theories, but this is the type of shit that lends credence to that.
I was going to say that this is what fuels it.
Exactly. Now, obviously, we're never going to know for sure, ever, unless one of these referees comes out and decides, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to put it all out there.
So I look at it like this. I don't think there's a conspiracy theory, but I do think human beings are human.
Yep.
And same way Michael Jordan, at about 3 or 4 years into his career, started getting some ticky-tack calls when he drove the lane.
Oh, yeah. Jordan rules.
Because he's Michael Jordan. You can't tell me LeBron hasn't experienced it either.
That's the superstar treatment, especially in the NBA. Yeah.
Right. But again, humans being humans, refs, officials, whatever, they're human beings.
Yeah.
And they do tend to make calls towards better teams, better players. But it's weird. I don't know why.
Except if you're Josh Allen. Did you see that?
I didn't. No, I don't.
Josh Allen running for a first down, kind of short yardage situation, right? Give the ball to Josh, big dude, starts running. There's literally a guy on the Colts literally punching him in the helmet while this big scrum is just moving forward. He's trying to knock the ball out, I think. But he keeps punching him in the helmet.
Right.
Nothing.
Hands to the face.
Nothing. They did it like 3 times. Nothing.
All right.
Like, okay. That's cool.
All right.
Dope. But if that's Mahomes, that dude's in jail.
Oh, if that's Mahomes.
That dude's in jail.
That guy doesn't make it out of that stadium.
No, that's exactly. So it's like, okay.
They take him and put him in the back and call them off.
Like I'm watching it and I see this happening. I'm like, do you idiots not see this guy punching Josh Allen in the helmet while he's trying to run? No, you guys not see this at all?
No, they didn't see it.
I was like, yeah, well, you're biased because the Bills are your team. Dude, that's a penalty on anybody. That should be called a penalty. I don't care who it is. Even Mahomes, that should be a penalty. You can't punch a dude in the head while he's trying to run. You just can't do that.
I beg to differ. They clearly said on Sunday that you could.
Yes, apparently. So, yeah, that was, I don't know, just shit like that. But obviously I don't know. So it's like, okay, and credit to, I will say this though, credit to them. They do know how to win these games. They do, and.
They always pull them off.
They do.
It's low scoring for them lately. This year they haven't been outscoring opponents by a ton.
No.
I mean, this game was 16-14, and it was what we talked about last week on Friday. We discussed how this game was kind of a trap game for KC, that Denver was going to stay in this game. You were the only one that had the balls to take Denver. Mm-hmm. I clearly thought about it, discussed it on the show, and was like, yeah, I went against my better judgment. But no, it was exactly what we thought it was. It was Denver played good enough defense. Kansas City is not quite what they used to be, but in the end, Kansas City pulled it off somehow. Like they have been all year.
It is very, I guess, I don't want to say miraculous, but.
And if you ask me, this week was almost like a week 1 in the NFL. It was a very sloppy weekend of football from what I saw.
Yeah.
And in going back yesterday and trying to see some stuff that I didn't see because I was kind of out of it on Sunday, I saw a lot of the primetime games, but in trying to catch up yesterday on some plays, some key plays and things like that, there wasn't a lot to catch up on. There wasn't a lot of scoring. There wasn't a ton of scoring this weekend. It was basically a weekend of like bleh.
It was like on Sunday we went down to McShane's to watch the Arsenal-Chelsea game, and obviously before that they had the Giants-Panthers game on, right? And I sat there, I go, all right, so not only does Germany get Panthers-Giants, and not only did they get Machine Gun Kelly at halftime,
God,
but better yet, the game went to fucking overtime.
Yeah, you had to endure more.
Like,
yes.
The only way this could have got better is if the game ended in a tie.
Well, and
That would have been amazing.
well, and the way this game ended was it went into overtime, and nobody wants to see the Giants and Panthers go into overtime.
No.
Not even people in Germany who get one game a year.
No, certainly not.
They didn't want this.
No.
And then
No, certainly not.
And then the Giants, whose rookie running back, who's played really well this year and looks good.
Yeah.
First play from scrimmage in overtime, fumble, and the Panthers basically just have to fart 3 times and then kick a field goal.
What I didn't understand is how
To win
close
the
they
game.
were. Just kick the fucking ball.
Get it over with.
Kick the ball. Like, because if you, like a fumbled snap or something like that, then you have like 3 more downs to make it right, you know? But no, they kept running it. I'm like, you know what would happen? They're like fumble or some shit like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
That would have been amazing if that would have happened, but obviously it didn't.
It would have been fantastic.
But the guy that fumbled, what I loved about it is, like, the game was over, and then one of the coaches, you know, went up to him and started patting him on the back, and I started laughing. I looked at Lady Friend, I go, he's just saying, he's like, dude, don't worry about it. You just gave us a better draft pick. It's all good, man. Don't worry about it. It's good.
Don't worry. This was good for us.
This was good for us. And that is, I believe, the last game Daniel Jones will ever play for the Giants.
That might be the last game Daniel Jones ever plays in the.
No,
in the
he'll be
NFL.
back up somewhere. But I think that is the last game he plays as a Giant.
Holy
shit.
I 1,000% agree with you. Dable is done with him.
He has to be.
He's done.
He absolutely now, I know obviously their head coaching jobs in the NFL are very difficult to get because there's not very many of them, obviously. But if you're Brian Dable, you're like, so let me get this straight. I left Josh Allen as a coordinator for this fucking pile of shit. Oh my God. Like, I mean, again, I know it's hard to get head coaching jobs and, you know, they're very coveted. I understand that. But man, that's almost a step down. Like, you're offensive coordinator for one of the best QBs in the league, and now you're head coach for arguably the worst quarterback in the league.
He's up there.
Like, that's kind of a step down, man. I gotta say,
up there or down there, whichever way.
Yes.
Whichever way you want to put it.
Yes.
But he's definitely there. No, it's bad, man. It's fucking bad.
It is bad. You know who's not bad though?
Jason Stiller from Flagstar Bank.
That's right. If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time home buyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time home buyers, including down payment assistance options and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
There you go.
This is for
Yeah, dog.
Alicia, who said better late than never, boys.
Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up because I did want to talk about that game a little bit. And this kind of...
Wait, you wanted to talk about Buffalo?
A little bit, just a little bit.
weird,
This
but okay.
this kind of is like the kind of like the Lions game a little bit in the fact that the Bills didn't play very well, but you go on the road and you get a W. That's what good teams do. They don't have their A game. They find a way to do it. Josh Allen didn't look particularly good. It's probably his worst game of the season, honestly. But they got the win. Their defense looked really good. Got a lot of takeaways, which was nice to see. So, I mean, other than that, I don't got much else to say about it. Other than, hey,
Yeah, he didn't necessarily have a good game.
you
Threw
did not
2
have a good
picks.
game, but again, you got the win, and now you have
Got the job done.
And now you have basically a 5-game lead in the division, which is nice.
Yeah, they're running away with that division.
Which is it's very good. You have a cushion because you still got kind of a tough schedule coming up. So you got the Chiefs, and I didn't see who they have after the Chiefs, but that was the best part of her day.
You're welcome.
Yes, I'm sure. At least
Glad we could help.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you, though. If you're saying we collectively are any part of the best part of your day, you had a fucking shit day.
Eric, you gotta step your game up, bro.
Yeah, there's no. Eric says if y'all just saw the dance in the kitchen, the dance at the kitchen table for that.
That's fantastic. I love it.
I tell you what, man. Next time she dances to that
You
song,
need to
you'll have
get-
to record it so we can put it on the Facebook page.
Absolutely. That's actually
Put it on
really-
social
That's
media.
actually really funny. But yeah, get back to Bills really quick. Again, good win. I'm happy for it. But they got a tough one this coming week against the Chiefs. Obviously, the marquee game. The studio crew is actually going to Buffalo for this game. They generally do it in New York City or whatever.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, they're actually going to Buffalo for this game. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's just a regular season game, guys. It doesn't fucking matter. But this is another game. Like, even if the Bills win, it doesn't really mean anything. No. Even if the Chiefs win, does it really mean anything? No.
I mean, you forgot to put it on the slate.
I did. I did because it doesn't mean anything. Like,
But you usually put our teams on there, right?
Usually,
and Cleveland's not on there, which I'm okay with. I don't really want to talk about them any more than I have to right now.
why not?
Although they didn't lose this weekend, so
Are you sure?
I'm positive. They
Are you
didn't.
sure the bye week didn't beat them?
Bye week did not beat them. But yeah, when you being that it was Kansas City Buffalo and you didn't put it on there, I thought, all right, either he'd send these out real fucking quick, or he just doesn't want to talk about this game at all.
No, I was in a rush to do it. That's why I didn't put it on there. But then again, with your team, do we really want to go fucking Cleveland, New Orleans?
No.
No.
Well, that's why I didn't question that one. I looked at that. I was like,
no.
I wouldn't. It was a 1-point spread. Typically, we try to do lower point spreads to do, harder games to call. But
And honestly, this week was kind of tough with the slate. The college slate sucks this week.
yeah,
And the NFL slate's not great by any means. Like I said, the biggest game of the week obviously is KC Buffalo, but it was tough pickings this week for sure. But
I think the Bengals Chargers game is going to be interesting.
okay,
Listen, I mean, both teams are playing well now. Cincinnati's got a high-powered offense. The Chargers have a decent to good defense.
I think they're just going to try to run it down the throat.
And their offense is playing well. Herbert's throwing the ball better now, so I am looking forward to that game. I think that'll be an interesting game on Sunday night.
Like I'm trying to look.
There's a couple games, but I mean, I know we'll get into it when we talk about the games. But
I'm looking.
is there any other games you want to hit on from this past weekend? I mean, not a lot. I mean,
Not really.
Pittsburgh beat Washington, which we discussed.
That was actually a decent game.
Was going to happen.
Oh, I did wanna
again
talk
with that one. I called that one. I said
Right.
Pittsburgh was going to win it outright, and they did.
I think I picked Pittsburgh in the picks too. I believe. Maybe I did. I don't remember.
let
if I
me
did or
see
not. No,
here.
I picked Washington.
No, you took Pittsburgh.
Yeah, all right.
Eric and Frank both took Washington in that one.
Of course,
but-
because they're idiots.
But you guys are stupid.
Guy's stupid.
you guys are so stupid.
Two things I did love from this weekend, which was awesome, is that both Aaron Rodgers and the Dallas Cowboys got absolutely fucking curb stomped.
Yes,
I love that.
Yes, Arizona is sneaky good at this point.
They are sneaky, and you called it at the beginning of the season. You liked them at the beginning of the season, so credit to you on that. They've definitely picked up their play, and they're currently in first place. Am I wrong?
They are. They are.
So that's a good call on your part. They have looked really good these past month or so.
Yeah, I believe they're already at. I think they have one more game to go over the win total.
Yeah.
That I had them. That I bet them at.
Yeah.
For the year.
Yeah.
So they need one more win for that. Yeah, they're sneaky good right now, and they just keep getting better, honestly. And they've done it without Kyler Murray having to be the guy who wins the games for him, right? I mean, before, if Kyler had a great game, they did well. If Kyler didn't have a good game, they didn't do well.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, he hasn't thrown many picks this year, despite what Frank tried to say in a text message a while back, but he's only thrown 3.
Okay, Frank's an idiot.
You stupid.
I love you, buddy.
No, I think with that it was more, you're just used to talking shit about a guy who plays Call of Duty and throws picks.
Yeah.
Without knowing, like, all right, well, yeah, normally that's the case. This year it's not. He only has, I believe he only has 3. Well, at that point in time, he had 3 picks on the year.
Right. No, it looks like he actually is taking his game serious now.
Well, and even if he only throws for 150 yards, right? I mean, and 1 touchdown, they're still winning the games, and their run game is working well.
James Conner.
And their offensive line looks good. They have a tight end who's probably one of the top 3 in the league.
Yeah.
They're overall as a team, they're playing better as opposed to just Kyler Murray having to go out there and play backyard football to try to win a game for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's
on like plays up in the dirt, kind of the scrambling around.
And they don't have to do that right now. They are drawing up some plays from run. He does run a little bit on his own, but they're actually playing as a team. They're winning games by having a game plan.
No, you're right about that, and so I mean, good for the Cardinals. But moving off of the Cardinals for a minute, I want to get to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it like I said
I saw that.
I sent a message in our group text, and I don't know the validity of this,
Right.
of what was the source of this or anything like that, but it's being reported that
Vet your sources.
yes, that veteran Bears players pushed for Caleb Williams to be benched before the Bears inevitably fired their offensive coordinator. They wanted, what is his name, Tyson Badgett
Badgett.
to start, and I have no idea who that even is. So
He played. He started a few games for him. I believe it was last year.
did he? Okay.
He's one of those guys the team kind of likes. He's a team guy. The sad part is, if veterans really wanted him to start over Caleb Williams, one, that's just stupid. Because Tyler Badgett is not the guy. I mean, he's just not.
I mean,
And Caleb Williams, you just drafted a number 1 overall. You're not going to bench him. It's not.
no,
happening.
you're not going to bench him. But if the players aren't going to play for him,
well, then you have bigger problems. But
You
like,
definitely have bigger-
there's no way your team is benching a quarterback they drafted.
no, of
number
course
1
not.
overall.
They're not
It's
going to do that
happening.
because they have too much stock invested in him.
For Tyler Badgett, who is a 6th round draft pick,
But
or
if
whatever the fuck
this
he is.
if this is real, that's yikes. That's a fucking
They
problem.
have some big team problems.
And
But
what
it's
is it?
like-
Does that speak to the Bears as an organization, or does that speak to Caleb Williams as quarterback?
Both. But I believe some people discussed how it would have been smarter for them to either use that pick on something else or trade it away and get extra draft picks and keep Justin Fields.
Wait.
Who, by the way, was winning games for Pittsburgh this
It
year.
was. Wait, didn't we? Did
I
we talk
believe
about that?
I believe some people did say that.
I believe. Some
It's
people did say
almost
that.
like that would have been the best thing for them to do in hindsight, right?
Crazy, yes.
Oh, and well, some people said it before it happened, but yeah. It's crazy.
yes, it's very crazy. But yeah, again, if this is valid, that's a problem. Like, this is just where quarterbacks go to die. It doesn't even matter like how good you were coming out of college. It doesn't matter. You're drafted by the Bears. Like,
But again, they do have a shit head coach too. Eberflus is on the level of
right.
like Adam Gase, Matt Nagy. Like, he's on that
Your
level.
favorite, Matt.
Yeah.
Adam Gase. I think I heard a thing today that since he's been hired, Eberflus, he's had like 8 dudes from his staff either been fired or resigned.
Well, what does that tell you?
Tells you everything you need to know. Shit organizations are
Literally.
shit organizations for a reason.
It spells everything out that you need to know.
Yeah.
And again, I believe some people, not really sure whether it was on this show or not, but I believe some people were saying that he should not be the head coach going in this year. They should have replaced him because he is not worthwhile.
No.
As a human being. Oh, I'm sorry. No, as a coach.
I say I don't know about all that, but
Yeah, that was my fault. I meant as a head coach.
no, because he's a lame duck head coach as it is, and you cannot in any sport have a lame duck head coach. I'm sorry, unless he's like retiring at the end of that season.
Yeah.
You cannot have a lame duck head coach. The locker room they lose basically all respect for you. They're not gonna. You're like a substitute teacher at that point. Like, it's just it's what it is. So to go into a season having a lame duck head coach is just dumb. So he'll be gone after this season, and they're probably going to end up hiring Ben Johnson if he decides he wants to go the head coach route.
Oh, he's going to be extra picky
Yeah, fuck you, man.
as to where he's going to go.
Whatever, fucking dipshit.
He might want to run it back next year with the Lions.
Then run it back.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just
And then, honestly, if
I
he
was just regurgitating.
No,
stuff
I
that's
know,
said
but
around here.
here's the thing: if he decides to run it back again, I don't know if he'll ever get the opportunity to actually be a head coach. Because all these teams are going to be like, you know what, dude, fuck you.
Well, but so here's the thing too. You have to strike when the iron's hot. Right?
Exactly.
So your game planning as an offensive coordinator, you have to adjust, and sometimes teams catch up to you.
Yeah.
If you come back another season, what if your offense doesn't perform like it did? What if I mean, you have as an NFL coach, you have certain opportunities to become a head coach. If that's what your aspiration is, you have to strike when the iron's hot.
Yep.
And not judging this guy, listen, if his aspiration is not to be a head coach and he's cool staying where he's at, great. Good for you. I'm sure he's making really good money and he can make it. Do you, bro. But if he has any aspirations of being an NFL head coach, you got to strike when the iron's hot.
You almost have to do it after the season.
I believe he has to. I believe he has to make that decision to go.
And again, more to your point.
And it's
like,
not just because it's a Lions coach, right?
No.
I would say this about any coach on any team.
Yeah,
you've had a couple of years where you're the hottest fucking commodity when it comes to offensive coordinators right now.
Yep.
If you want a head coaching job, now's the time.
And like I said, if it'll get to the point where these teams are just like, you know what, dude, we're done with you.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to wait on you. Get fucked.
Yeah.
So, again, I think he'll end up being there if he wants to be, obviously.
I mean,
because it's a relatively ready-made situation.
I think when the Lions win the Super Bowl this year, he will end up.
You said it, not me.
He will end up. Again, I'm just regurgitating things from local people, but yeah. So I believe I truly think this year he does make the decision to go. The reports are coming out he's going to be extra picky with where he goes and all that. You got to be careful with that. If you're extra picky and you just want to go to one or two teams, man, your time is going to pass you by.
Well, like I said, you go to Chicago again. It's a relatively ready-made situation. You have what could possibly be you'll have a second-year QB. And you're going to put them in a better system than what's there now.
And by all accounts, they have good offensive players. I mean,
yeah. Except apparently DJ Moore hates Caleb Williams. So,
well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I hate him, and I don't even play with him. I fucking don't like him.
I haven't liked him for a while. So
but, I mean, off of that situation, because the Bears are just an abject disaster of an organization. They have been since '85, honestly.
From one bad organization to a really, really good organization.
Steelers?
No.
Who we got?
The Joe Wright Group.
Yes. Whether you're buying or selling your home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 3 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group. Give Craig, Joe Wright, Mike Bush, and Shane Wilson a call today at 248-535-4750 to fulfill all of your real estate needs.
It's not his fault he can't read.
True.
What was the accent you were doing there? Did you catch yourself?
No,
it was.
I just read it. I don't know. I wasn't ready for it. I just started reading it.
Oh, my bad. I sent it over to you before you were ready.
I was not ready for that, but I thought you were gonna talk about the Steelers because they are actually a good organization.
They are. And speaking of really good head coaches from really bad head coaches.
Yes.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin has that team playing well, and
the defense legit.
The defense is legit, and listen, we talk shit about Russell Wilson, but I will say, as good as Justin Fields looked in that offense, and as he won games, that team does have a different swagger with Russ at quarterback. It's weird. I can't explain it, but they do.
You know who I can't believe I'm giving credit to this fucking guy, but Arthur Smith.
Yeah?
Yeah, you kind of have to give him credit. Like, terrible head coach.
Yeah, but...
again, we've talked about that before, though. There's some guys who are...
really good offensive
coordinators and terrible head coaches.
Yeah. Well, because as a head coach, you have to manage everything. As a coordinator, it's just your specialty, whether it's defense or offense. And then as you go down the line, obviously you hone it in. If you're a quarterback coach, you're just quarterbacks. But offense coordinator takes the whole offense.
Yeah.
Head coach, you have way more things to worry about than that. And some guys are just not good at managing all that. But that, again, that offense has, that team has a swagger right now.
They do. They absolutely do. But here's the thing with the Steelers, is they literally have their entire division schedule coming up. Like, the entirety. They haven't played a division game yet, which is kind of outstanding if you think about it.
It's odd.
It really is. So they have a tough stretch coming up here that's really going to make or break. Obviously, it's going to make or break how their season ends up playing out. But
I tell you what, fuck Cleveland, they ain't going nowhere. But if I'm Cincinnati, if I'm Baltimore, I'm worried about Pittsburgh.
You should be worried about Pittsburgh because again, it's actually a good football team.
Yep.
It's not a great football team. It's a good football team.
No, but they're hitting on all cylinders right now.
They are.
Defense, special teams, offense.
Yep.
They are coming into their own right now. And I think Tomlin, as much as we kind of criticized it, he made the right decision with Russ. And it's working out for them. And he did it at a point in time where they can hit their full stride with him at quarterback.
Yeah.
By the time they get to their division schedule. And God forbid he gets injured or whatever, they go back to Justin Fields, and Justin Fields will go back in there and play the way he played before, and he'll still be good. That offense will still look good. Making that change when he did was probably brilliant.
It probably was. But you know what wasn't brilliant though? Is like I'm gonna go to the Cowboys game really quick. The comments after the game by Jarrah Jones.
Jarrah Jones, I didn't hear these.
Oh, good Lord. Talking about, because you know they have a problem in the stadium with the sun flashing through, right?
Yeah.
And CeeDee Lamb basically just said, he's like, the sun get ready. He's like, yeah. He goes, you want to get curtains? He's like, yeah, this sucks. I can't see the football. So they asked Jarrah about it after the game.
Oh, God.
His comments, it's still a Jarrah. I'm listening to these. I'm going, the fuck is he talking about? Seriously, because it just sounded like one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
I'm looking forward to hearing this because I really didn't hear it at first. I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's see if I can. Hold on, let me see if I can find it here. Hang on a second. It's just like one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. He started talking about the moon and shit like that. Oh,
The moon?
I'm trying to find the whole comic because it's only giving me like.
Bro, at what point in time do you have to worry about the moon?
Dude, it was
a night game, and it depends on where the moon's position. What?
Oh yeah.
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Dude.
What the fuck?
He goes, because they asked him about it, and he goes, by the way, we know where the sun is going to be when we flip the coin, so we do know where the damn sun is going to be in our own stadium, Jones said. Let's just tear the damn stadium down and build another one. Are you kidding me? It's like, what?
That's what he said?
That's what he said. He says, every
How
team that
about you
comes here has issues. I know where the sun is going to be. Every team has the same thing. I'm not saying it's Tom McCarthy. I'm saying the world knows where the sun is. We get to know that almost a year in advance. So someone asked me about the sun. What about the sun? Where's the moon? We're fine. But everybody plays in the sun out there. I was like,
wow.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, literally, all you have to do is put up, like, a fucking curtain at that time of day, and you're fine. That's it. You don't have to build a new fucking stadium. You don't do any of that. Just put up a fucking curtain.
What you just said
Yes.
is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That's what the fuck was he talking about?
It was I listened to this live when he said it. I'm just like, wow. I literally now feel dumber for having listened to this because at no point in that did you make any fucking sense. And then Michael Parsons had some comments after the game too, which I don't know if you saw these comments.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. So,
I didn't. I feel very out of touch at this point because I didn't hear about any of this.
So they talked about, obviously, after the Cowboys got curb stomped by the Eagles, they asked him about Mike McCarthy. He's like, Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. He's like, guys I kind of feel bad for are guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year or on their way out because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. Those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for.
Damn, yo. Wow.
Because the first question was, asked if McCarthy should coach the Cowboys next year. Parsons says it was above my pay grade. I was like, hey, Micah, one thing he does have over you, he has a Super Bowl ring, fucko. So,
lady friend says the winds of Re are blowing strongly in his directions. His direction.
Did she not type out retardation?
She did not. She typed out Re ...
Anyways, yes.
I wouldn't have read it if it said that. glad for you to say it.
That's an old reference.
The winds of retardation
Oh yeah,
are blowing strong.
like one of my middle school teachers. She literally said that to a student.
The winds of retardation are blowing strongly in your direction.
100%.
That's fucking great.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever heard anybody say to anybody else. And I like looking at it like now. If she did that, she'd be fired immediately. Immediately.
She couldn't get that. It couldn't exit her mouth before they would actually have her being escorted out of the school.
Oh, 100%. Like that, and the school probably would have got sued.
Yeah, because it would have been on video. Because somebody would have been recording it.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, she said it again at the time. We obviously didn't think much of it. We just thought it was funny as hell because it was.
I mean, that is funny.
But yeah,
Yeah, but again, back when we were in school, we weren't so soft.
no, that's true. That's true as well.
I mean,
Feelings.
that's just funny.
Feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feelings and things.
But yeah, so
Offended.
offended. I'm triggered. Sorry, guys.
Trigger warning. Offended.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of the funnier things I've ever seen, especially coming from a teacher.
That is
shit was
fucking
pretty
hilarious.
Pretty fucking hilarious.
Actually.
And is there any other games you want to hit from this week?
No, honestly, this, like I said, the slate was not that great. So,
It was
no, I mean, Atlanta had a bad loss to New Orleans.
Yes, they did.
That was just ugly. Minnesota had an ugly win against Jacksonville.
Yes, they did.
They did not play very well in that game. Again,
Is the clock about to strike midnight for Sam Darnold?
I'm hesitant to say that. I mean, that team is still good. He's been playing well. You can have a bad game. Another one like that, and we'll talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was just a very bad game for them. They did pull out the victory. Atlanta had a bad game and lost, which is worse. Yeah, I don't know. It was fun to watch Aaron Rodgers get the shit kicked out of him. It was also really fun to watch the Cowboys lose by a fucking lot. Other than that game on Thursday was the best game of the whole weekend, and we talked about it on Friday. So,
We did.
I'm good to go.
Let's set up some games coming up this week. Thursday night, we got a good one. Hopefully, it lives up to the Cincinnati-Baltimore game on Thursday. That was on Thursday. We got the Redskins taking on the Eagles.
I'm looking forward to this in-division.
I am too.
In-division rivalry game.
Yep.
The Eagles are playing well. The Commanders are playing well. I'm hoping this is another one of those games like last week's Thursday game where it's kind of a back and forth slugfest, kind of a prize fight type game.
No, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think that's hopefully that's the type of game it's going to end up being, but we shall see. Generally, division matchups kind of like that tend to be more, like you said, slugfest-ish. Not a lot of points scored, but that kind of goes in contrast to the Bengals-Ravens game, which was a shootout.
It was a slugfest in a different way, and that's what I'm hoping this game is. I'm hoping this game is an offensive.
Right.
Just back and forth, one haymaker after another one, one long touchdown after another one. Yeah, those games are fun to watch. And when those games fall on
defense optional.
Yeah, when those games fall on the primetime games, let's face it, as fans of football, I can appreciate a good defensive game as well as anybody else can, but when it's the only game on, and it's a primetime game, you kind of want to see some offense. You want to see a back-and-forth type game.
Especially on Thursday night.
Yeah. Which is rare on Thursdays, let's put it that way.
Right. Green Bay, Chicago. Game really doesn't do much for me.
No.
Green Bay should handle business, but, again, division game. You
never know. It's in Chicago. It's a division game. Green Bay's favored by 6.5 from what I see here.
Yep.
But, again, division rivalry. Weird things happen in those games.
It does. Jacksonville, Detroit. The Lions should absolutely curb stomp this team. Line is like minus 13. Shit. I would go up to like at least 20, and I think the Lions would handle that easily. Jacksonville's done. They've quit. It's over. Trevor Lawrence sucks.
Peterson's done too, by the way. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way that dude's coming back. But let's see, Minnesota, Tennessee, and.
Minnesota should handle business.
They should, but again, you saw them go down to Jacksonville and look like absolute dog shit. So, and Tennessee's not very good.
I think this is a game where if Minnesota's going to turn around, they have to do it right here.
Yeah.
You can't come out and lay two stinkers in a row. You just can't.
Right.
You have to come out and basically throw your dick on the table. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you got to do.
Frank's Raiders taking on the Dolphins. Dolphins kind of redeemed themselves on Monday night. Trying to get back in the race here. They actually look pretty decent. I'm like, I thought they looked actually pretty good last night on Monday.
They did, and Tua didn't even play really well.
And Tua, I don't know why you're trying to tackle people, bro. Like,
listen, if you throw a pick, run the other direction, man. Like, don't take a hit.
I get you're trying to be like one of the boys, and hey, I got to make this play, but
dude, your head is literally sewn on at this point. Can you stop?
Yes, exactly. Maybe you should just let guys who actually make tackles for a living make the tackle.
Don't. Just don't.
Rams and Patriots. Are the Patriots better than we thought they were?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes. I think they are better than we thought they were gonna be. Not by much, but I think they are better. And Drake May.
Drake May.
Is that something? Is that a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like,
I think Drake May is something, and I want to say that Bo Nix is something too. I think
I called the Bo Nix one.
I think both of those quarterbacks have it.
Yes. Whatever Caleb Williams doesn't have, these
they
guys
have it.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Caleb Williams doesn't have it.
No.
Because these guys have it.
It goes down to honestly, might be the worst game of the weekend, Browns and Saints. And I'm not saying that to be a dick.
No,
but it might be one of the
honest
worst.
with you, even as a Browns fan, I don't want to watch this game.
I look at this, says tickets are going for as low as $23 to that game.
That's still too much. I wouldn't even pay that because there's fees involved too.
Oh yeah, so you're paying like $50 a ticket, easy.
Yep,
So
not happening.
another one, like Colts and Jets. Can the Jets just not be on television anymore? Like, period. Like, I don't want to see the Jets. Nobody wants to fucking. Their own fans don't even want to fucking see them. You know why? How I know this? Tickets are $26 right now. Nobody wants to see the fucking Jets.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about the fucking Jets. Fuck you, Aaron Rodgers. Go suck a fat dick.
Yeah, Aaron. Aaron.
What will challenge? What I think will challenge the Bills and Chiefs for possibly game of the week is Ravens Steelers. That's always.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah,
those two teams hate each other. It's always a battle. I love watching those games.
Can I express my frustration with only having 3 games in the 4:00 window again?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Why can we not get a few more games in the 4:00 window?
This is,
why are they all played at 1:00?
I'm glad you brought this up because
why?
I've seen on Twitter lately about this big noon Saturday that Fox has.
Yeah,
it's fucking terrible. It's awful. Like some of these games should be played in prime time, but Fox wants to do it at noon. For what? Why?
I don't know why.
Like, people are like legit pissed about this.
I don't blame them. I'm mad that we don't get a few more games. If you only have 3 games in the 4:00 window,
that's awful,
and 2 of them are dog shit, great. You got 1 game,
right?
And I like watching the red zone. I like jumping back and forth from games. When there's only 3 games, sometimes they have to fill the fucking time with bullshit that I don't want to see, which is why I watch the red zone channel.
Right.
I don't watch regular fucking games when I can avoid it because I don't want to see the bullshit foo bullshit. the filler frou fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit about that.
Right. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to that game. I think those teams are going to beat the shit out of each other, and I think it's going to be a damn good football game. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Should that have been flexed into either a 4:25 or 8 o'clock game? Yeah, because you know what the night game is on Sunday night? Bengals Chargers. Really?
That one's going to be.
And then Monday night is Texans Cowboys.
Texans Cowboys. No, that one. I'm just looking forward to if I have Houston Texans in my fantasy lineup.
That's fine, but
that's the only way I'm looking forward to that game.
Oh yeah, that game should not be on Monday night.
No.
Not with the flexing
Bengals
power
Chargers. I'm okay with that.
Really?
I am okay with that.
Over Steelers Ravens.
Well, not over that.
That's what I'm saying.
No, not over that game, but I'm still okay with that game. It's still a game I want to watch.
My point was the Steelers Ravens should be flexed into that slot.
If it was a worse game, it might have been. I think Bengals Chargers is a decent enough game where you don't get that one in its place. But if that Sunday night game was, say, Cleveland New Orleans or Green Bay Chicago or even Rams Patriots, I think you get that flex.
You could have had this weekend. You could have had Ravens Steelers on Sunday night and Chiefs Bills on Monday night, or flip flop them. I don't care.
Yeah.
That would have been an amazing end of the weekend.
Well, at least Chiefs Bills is one of the 4 o'clock games,
Right.
so it's the 4:25 game. So we at least get to see that at the 4 o'clock. But the other two could end up being dog shit games. I mean, Atlanta and Denver, that could be a low scoring bullshit game, and then Seattle and San Francisco, it could be anything on the spectrum.
Yeah, weird shit happens with those games.
It could be anything on
does.
the spectrum of a high scoring
Right.
slugfest or just a really sloppy fucking bullshit game.
I just think they missed an opportunity here to put those two games at night. But
If nothing else, Baltimore or Pittsburgh should have been in the 4 o'clock window to
Right.
have a little bit more of
Okay.
of some eyes on it. You know, at the very least.
I can live with that.
At the very least.
Right. Yeah, that's like obviously that's rest of, we just kind of covered the rest of the games that are on the slate.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
And then bye weeks this week are Arizona, Carolina, the Giants, who are trying to figure out what they're going to do with Daniel Jones. He might actually already be boxed up.
I'm
with
definitely
a-
taking
with
the
a-
bye week against the Panthers.
I might take the bye week against the Giants as well.
Yeah, I might take it. Yeah.
Daniel Jones might already be in a box with a FedEx label on it. And then Tampa Bay is off as well. So.
Yes. Anyways, yeah.
Is that all the games we want to get into? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Any hockey? Any?
I mean, just quickly on the Red
College?
Wings. Yeah, just quickly on the Red Wings. There's a college thing I wanted to hit on really quick too.
Yeah.
But quickly on the Red Wings, people are mad because obviously they're in the position that they're in. They're directionless at this point. They're just kind of there. They're a completely mid team.
Very mid.
Their defense is horrendous. And people are mad about it, and I understand why they're mad about it, because the Yzer plan was supposed to go significantly better than it has. But this is what happens when you interrupt a rebuild, like the higher ups with the Red Wings did. He had a plan. He had a plan, and yes, it was going to take a while. And the higher ups, Illich obviously fucked it up. He says no. You can't take this long with young guys and develop them and then bring them up, because we have a new building. We need to have playoff games in said building. So I'm going to open the checkbook and you can go out and sign X amount of free agents who, frankly, are not very good. And you completely fucked up the rebuild. And you set your organization back. So for all you guys that want to like hammer Yzerman for this. It wasn't on him. No, this is all above him, 100%. But
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you there.
like they tried to fast track this thing, and that's not what you do with rebuilds. You can't fast track them. It doesn't work. But again, they have a new building, and I understand it. I get it. They want that playoff revenue. I can completely understand that. But what has happened is now you're going to wait even longer for your playoff revenue. Because I as this team is currently constituted, I do not see making the playoffs.
No, not from what I've seen so far.
So, and the college point I wanted to hit on, Schroenmore needs to go. I'm sorry. That dude is in way over his head. Way over his head.
I mean, again, I believe that was discussed by some people.
It's not going to happen, but that dude just some of the coaching decisions he's made this year, and especially what happened down in Indiana, when you're just going to let 30 seconds run off and you're not going to call a timeout? Really? What's that all about, bro? And secondly, the one thing, all you had to do this year in the offseason, just get a competent quarterback, and you'd been fine. That's it. And don't get me, it was late when Harbaugh. Stop it. Stop.
No.
Like I know that's why Cam Ward said he flipped and went to Miami. Okay, but there was still quarterbacks out there that
I was
you
to
could
say
have
you still could have done something.
You could have done something. And again, now this is such an embarrassment of a title defense. It's embarrassing. It really is, because they're in danger of not even making a bowl game.
Yep.
And to me, after you win a national championship and then you don't make a bowl game the following year, that's a fireable offense to me. They're not going to fire him. I get it.
Yeah.
And And this just speaks more to Ward Manuel. Again, that's the dude who really needs to go.
More bad decisions from him too. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yes, except I do like the coach they hired for the basketball team, Dusty May. He's got that team looking better in the first 2 games that they've played than Juwan had them the whole time. So I think Michigan will be decent this year. They're not going to be, like Beeline Wolverines or anything like that this year anyway.
right.
But he's got that team, the basketball team, back on track, and I think they'll be good. I think they will make the tournament. I think they'll scrape into the tournament this year. But it's just nice to see a guy who actually knows what the hell he's doing running that program instead of the shit show that it's been for the past 3-4 years with Juwan Howard running it. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's all I got on that.
All right. Well, we go from people making bad decisions to a way that you can make a very good decision, and that is you can make the best decision. We all know planning events such as a wedding, birthday party, graduation party, or any other event that might require a DJ can be very hairy. Eliminate the stress and give Steve Waddell at Bald Man Entertainment a call today at 586-747-5402. To see all of his upcoming events, check out his link on our Facebook page or go to sotdet.com. Click on the Bald Man logo. Again, that's Bald Man Entertainment, 586-747-5402. It's the best decision you can make for a smooth event.
See that, man? Dude's been killing it lately, so you might want to. If you're planning something, you definitely might want to give him a call.
Absolutely,
because he's booking up pretty fast. So
yeah, he's out there doing a lot right now, and
Yes, he
very
is.
very proud of him, very happy for him.
yes, all right,
Getting to the picks.
let's do the picks.
This segment is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group.
It's time!
Okay. Last week's picks. I will just say this because I've had a couple of really bad weeks in a row. Overall, I won this week.
Nice.
So I did win the college picks at 5-4.
Oh God.
Yeah.
all right.
And then all 3 of you went 4-5. So I didn't win by much. I won by one.
All right.
Then you and I both tied for the best in NFL picks at 5-3.
Okay.
Eric was in second there, behind us at 4-4, and Frank was at 3-5.
Right.
Overall record, I am still in last because of my last 2 weeks before that.
Right.
Eric is still in first. So Eric is 96, 91, and 2. You and Frank are both at 93, 94, and 2. And I am at 91, 96, and 2.
Okay. So
So-
we're right around 500.
We're all right there.
Not terrible.
I had a couple of really bad weeks in a row, which dropped me down below you guys. I made up for it a little bit this week, and I'm hoping to do it again
Yep.
this coming week. So
All right.
we'll
let's
see.
let's start off this week's slate. Obviously, we always start with the college games. As we said earlier in the show, not a ton of great matchups this week, so we did the best we could. First up, we got Utah taking on Colorado. Colorado's laying 10. Joe, you took Utah. The rest of us took Colorado.
All right, here we go. Shh.
After that, we got Clemson laying 10, taking on Pittsburgh. Joe, you and I took Pittsburgh. Eric and Frank took Clemson.
Quebec, go ahead.
You can't let that shit happen. There we go. Next up, we got LSU and the Fighting Brian Kellys. Oh, that was another one I loved seeing Brian Kelly's dipshit ass get fucking trucked by Bama. Thank you, Bama. That's almost a perfect weekend if you think about it.
I love how Alicia said, "Let's see how my picks did."
Exactly. That's almost a perfect weekend if you think about it. Like Brian Kelly gets curb stomped, Aaron Rodgers gets curb stomped, and the Dallas Cowboys
yep,
get.
Cowboys,
Oh
yep.
my God, the trifecta! It's fucking beautiful.
Yep.
That being said, LSU's laying 4.5, taking on Florida. We all took LSU for some reason, but Florida's really bad. So
You're a loser.
next we got Tennessee taking on Georgia. Georgia's laying 10. Joe, you and Eric took Tennessee. Me and Frank took Georgia.
You was fighting in bathtubs and laughing your ass off.
Up next, we got Missouri taking on South Carolina. South Carolina's laying 11.5. You and Eric took Missouri. Me and Frank took South Carolina.
Never go for a retard.
Next, we got Texas laying 13.5, taking on Arkansas. The three of you took Texas. I took Arkansas.
You got a little wiener and some tiny nuts.
And the last game of the college slate, thank God, we got Oregon laying 14.5, taking on Wisconsin. We all took Oregon.
If we take a fucking tight end, I quit.
I love that drop.
It is a great one. It's one of the all-timers for sure. Moving on to the NFL slate. First up, we got Washington taking on Philadelphia. Philadelphia's laying 3.5. We all took the Eagles.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
After that, we got Baltimore laying 3.5, taking on Pittsburgh. Joe, you, me, and Frank took Pittsburgh. Eric took Baltimore.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Next, we got Green Bay laying 6.5, taking on Chicago. We all took the Packers.
Take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
After that, we got the Falcons taking on the Broncos. The Broncos are laying 2. You and Eric took Atlanta. Me and Frank took Denver.
Why don't you go back to your home on Whore Island?
Next, we got the Seahawks taking on the Niners. The Niners are laying 6.5. We all took the Niners.
Fuck you, blow me.
After that, we got Cincinnati taking on the Chargers. Chargers laying 1.5. You guys all took Cincinnati. I took the Chargers.
I work with retards.
Next, we got Houston laying 7.5, taking on Dallas. We all took the Texans.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
After that, we have sorry. The Chiefs taking on the Bills. The Bills are laying 2.5. We actually all took Kansas City.
It's not illegal. It's frowned upon, like masturbating on an airplane.
And the final game of the week, the biggest game of the week, per usual, is the Jaguars taking on the Lions. The Lions are laying 13. Again, I said they could be laying 25. It wouldn't matter. I'd still take the Lions in this. The rest of you seem to have agreed with me on this, as we all did take the Detroit Lions.
I'm a Jew. I'm perpetually yelling.
And those are this week's picks.
Those are the picks. Do you want to hear about my pick?
I do.
For best bar to go to if you want to watch sports or if you want to have a good meal. Tap and Barrel Grill in Shelby Township is one of the newest sports bars in Metro Detroit. This upscale sports bar features over 40 craft beers on tap, handcrafted cocktails, a delicious scratch-made food menu, and an amazing patio, voted Best Patio Macomb County by Crane's Detroit Weekly. The comfortable feel, attentive staff, and fine dining food options make it a must-visit spot for your sports fans and foodies alike. Whether you're watching the big game or just looking for a great meal, Tap and Barrel Grill has you covered. Tap and Barrel Grill, visit them at 50055 Van Dyke Avenue in Shelby Township, or go to tapandbarrelgrill.com.
Nicely done. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
I gotta go there one of these. I wish they had brunch, man. That's the only thing I miss is they don't have brunch.
I wish you had brunch.
Well, no, I'd go there to watch like a Premier League game or something like that and have
Yeah.
some brunch, But it is what it is. Maybe Zeph will get on that.
Z.
Sorry. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe Z will get on that and get some.
We'll have to go over there and one evening or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Head over there, have some drinks and
absolutely
some food.
Hey, get some brunch here, guy.
Get some brunch. See.
Anyways,
but yeah, they're great over there. Go visit them, please.
Agreed.
They do
Yes.
great.
Yes, for sure.
Even if they don't have brunch. You got anything else?
No.
All right. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. Check out SOTDET.com while you're there. Click on any of the sponsors' logos to visit their sites and see what they're doing. Give them a like, a share, and a follow on their social medias as well. SOTDET.com. When you're there, click on shop. Buy some stuff. Support us. We would appreciate it. On behalf of Chris, I am Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No. Bye, buddy. No!
Goodbye.
No! Goodbye! No!
It's never goodbye.
Hey,
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
And you were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys.